Hey Gauchos, it is your ASB treasurer, Angel Nwosu, and I am here to guide you on that path to being an active voter. If you are between the ages of 16 and 17, you qualify right now to pre-register. Yep, you heard me right. You qualify right now to pre-register if you are between the ages of 16 and 17. In order to do so, you will need to go to the website registertovote.ca.gov. That is registertovote.ca.gov, where you click on the pre-register tab and start filling out the appropriate columns. You will need your date of birth, place of birth, driver's license number if you have one, your social security number, and your address. It's as simple as that. Of course, it will ask of your citizenship status, but it's pretty easy overall. So get to it, Gauchos.
Hello, I'm Isaiah Duke, ASB Vice President, and I'm here to discuss how long it takes to register and also provide you with some links in regards to registering. First things first, how long it takes to register, no more than 20 minutes. It honestly just asks you basic background information. They just want to know your name, where you live, your mailing address, all that stuff. They just want to make sure you are who you say you are. And the links, one is by the U.S. government, is going to appear on my left, and the other is by an organization called vote.org. Both give solid information about registering, what you need, which Angel also told you, and things like that.
Hello. Today I'm here to educate you on what to consider when voting and what is on the ballot. When voting, take into consideration your beliefs. You as a citizen have the right to vote in elections for president, governors, Congress, and the House of Representatives. But what are those rights? Over time, constitutional amendments, laws, and court cases have expanded the right for citizens to vote. Citizens of the U.S. have the right to suffrage, hence the right to vote, regardless of race, color, previous condition of servitude, sex, or age for those above 18. You also have the right to vote without being forced to vote by any other secondary party. Yes, you will not be bashed if you decide to vote for someone or something else. Now, your vote matters. The Electoral College is a body of electors established by the U.S. Constitution, which forms every 4 years for the sole purpose of electing president and vice president. It consists of 538 electors, 435 representatives, 100 senators, and 3 electors from the District of Columbia. Now that we have touched bases on the structures of voting, let's talk about what exactly you are voting for. When candidates run for president or vice president, they pick a political party who supports their campaign economically and socially. But what is a political party? A political party is an organized group of people who have the same ideologies or who otherwise have the same political positions and who field candidates for elections. The most common political parties you hear all the time are the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Let's say hypothetically that you do not share the same ideologies as either political parties mentioned. You can run as the American Independent Party, the Libertarian Party, the Green Party, or the Peace and Freedom Party. Now that you know more, I'll let my partner Andre touch bases on propositions and the voter's ballot.
Now, many times we have heard sayings like, vote yes on Proposition 20 or vote no on Proposition 14, but what exactly is a proposition? Ballot measures or ballot propositions are proposals to enact new laws or constitutional amendments or repeal existing laws or constitutional amendments that are placed on the ballot for approval or rejection by the electorate. There are several different kinds of ballot measures. First up, we have an initiative, a proposal of a new law or constitutional amendment that is placed on the ballot by petition, that is by collecting signatures of a certain number of citizens. Next, we have a referendum, sometimes known as popular referendum, which is a proposal to repeal a law that was previously enacted by the legislature and that is placed on the ballot by citizen petition. A total of 24 states permit referendums. Most of them are states that also permit initiatives. Although the progressives consider the referendum as important as the initiative, in practice, referendums are fairly rare, especially compared to initiatives. A legislative measure or legislative proposition, or sometimes referred measure, is a proposal placed on the ballot by the legislator. All states permit legislative measures, and all states, except for Delaware, require constitutional amendments to be approved by the voters at large. In some states, legislators place non-binding advisory measures on the ballot. Legislative measures are much more common than initiatives and referendums and are about twice as likely to be approved. Some states, such as Florida, also allow certain commissions to refer measures to the ballot. The voter's ballot will include a number of propositions, this including Proposition 15, which talks about split roll, Proposition 16, ending the ban on affirmative action, Proposition 17, restoring the right to vote to people on parole, Proposition 18, allowing some 17-year-olds to vote some of the time, Proposition 19, which talks about property tax breaks and closing the Lebowski loophole, and more. Also on the voter's ballot is where you will vote for presidents between Trump and Biden and many other elected positions.
Hi, I'm Juliana Grado, and I'm an ASB member and the current SAS president, and I'm here to talk about how and where you can vote. Even though you may not be 18 yet, it's still important to know how to vote so you can be prepared in the future. So if you are a U.S. citizen, 18, and meet your state's requirements, then you are eligible to vote. But before you vote, it's important to make sure you're registered, which Mizay and Angel have already talked about. So once you're registered, you can request to vote by mail, where they will send you a ballot in the mail and you can fill it out and vote. Or you can also vote in person, and you can find polling places with this website, or you receive your voting registration card in the mail, and it will list local polling places near you. When you vote in person, you may need some sort of identification, so it's important to always bring some sort of ID with you. Once you get to the polling places in person, a poll worker will then lead you to a machine where you fill out your ballot and vote for our future.
My name is Elizabeth Martinez, and on behalf of ASB, I'm here to tell you what you can do if you can't vote, whether if you're underage or you're undocumented. To those of you who are American citizens or permanent U.S. residents, there's a chance for you to volunteer at the polls during election time. If you're interested in volunteering to be a poll worker, here are the requirements. You have to be an American citizen or permanent U.S. resident, be at least 16 years old on election day, attend a public or private high school, have at least a 2.5 GPA average, and lastly, get permission from your parents in school. Think this is boring? Wait till you hear the rewards. By volunteering to work at the polls this November, you help carry out the most important event in our democracy. You can earn $65 to $180 for your day of service while you learn more about the election, and most importantly, you contribute to your community. For more information, visit sos.ca.gov. Even though this is a great way to get involved in our upcoming election, it isn't the only one. Social media is one of the most powerful tools our generation has right at our fingertips. Spreading awareness on social media really helps get the word around and inform others about important topics facing our generation, such as climate change and important propositions that affect our communities. Although, be aware and careful with what you post. With the power of social media, we have a chance to stand up for our beliefs and help give power to others to speak up and fight for change. Still need more options? Well, there are millions of petitions out there that are for change and justice in our communities. You can find these on change.org. Participating in peaceful protests and joining organizations in your community that support your causes and beliefs also causes a huge impact and helps you be aware and more involved. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and make a change, whether it's spreading awareness at home or volunteering out in the polls. Help be the change you want to see in your community.
Hi, my name is Ty. I'm here on behalf of ASB to tell you guys why it's important to vote. It's important for our future. It's also important that we have someone in office who understands the well-being of citizens and climate change. It's also important for our voices to be heard. Those, unfortunately, who cannot vote, let their voices shine through you. Almost nearly 100 million people did not vote last election. And the changes that are being made in office are mostly made in the predominantly people of color areas. So please, get out and vote.